tayo sa BAPE 7, assignment number 1, solution. So, basically, same lang si ginawa natin nung BAPE 6, yung previous video. Additional material lang to sa mga interesadong magdagdag ng material nila. Okay, watch this. If not, goods lang. Kung goods sa kayo solution. Kanya-kanyang tip lang yan sa effective study habit, di ba? So, with that said, without further ado, di ba? Parang ganun sinasabi nila. Punta tayo sa assignment number 1 ng BAPE 7. So, ito. So, okay. So, ito. Ang unang tanong, or, tinamad ako, alata no, tinamad na copy-paste type dito sa question, picture na lang kasi same naman eh. May copy rin naman kayo ng book, so pwede na kayo doon tumingin, answer nyo, tsaka nyo input dito sa ating form, di ba? Parang ganun kasimple lang yan. Kasi sa book ko lang naman to kinukuha eh, para synchronize yung ating study, yung ating, yung ating discussion. So with that said, yung picture na lang ang tingnan natin. So ito, mas klaro, di ba? So, anong una nating dito? So, saan yun? Okay. So, ang una, problem 1, true or false. So, simple lang naman to, di ba? So, the two important elements in the definition of business combination under PFRS 3 are business and combination. Parang pilosopong tanong, di ba? Ang tama is business and control. So, false yan. Kasi nga, may mga, di ba, dalawa yung, as previously discussed sa lecture video, di ba? Mag-acquire ka ng business. And dapat yung pag-acquire mo, dapat meron kang control. Kasi kung meron kang control, tapos wala namang business, hindi naman pala considered to be a business based on the definition of PFRS 3, yung in-acquire mo, wala ring business combination. Kung nag-acquire ka nga ng business, tapos wala namang control, di ba? Hindi rin mako-consider as business combination. So, very relevant, business and control. The number 2, PFRS 3 requires the use of the purchase method in accounting for business combination. Mali, acquisition method tayo dito. And if you can still remember, yung purchase method doon yun sa SME. Number 3, so false yan. Next is, number 3, the entity that obtains control in a business combination is called the acquiree. Mali, acquirer ang tawag sa kanya. So, pangapat, the acquisition date in a business combination is normally the closing date. Yes, kalagay naman sa discussion. The NCI, the non-controlling interests are measured at fair value only. Ang false yan. Anong nagpa-false sa kanya? The usage of the word only. Hindi lang fair value kapatid. Yung NCI's proportionate share in the acquiree's net identifiable asset. Kasama rin yan, depende sa given sa problem. So, number 6, if the controlling interest is 80%, yung NCI, yes, 20%. Obviously, kasi 100% naman yung total yan eh. Lastly, 7, a gain on bargain purchase, di ba, yung GBP natin, or also known as negative goodwill, is recognized as an allocated deduction to the net identifiable assets acquired in the year of business combination. False yan kapatid, sa profit or loss or after reassessment yan. Sa P&L yan, di ba, yung statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income diyan. Yun sa naka-state. Number 8, an intangible asset that is unrecorded by the acquiree may nevertheless be recognized by the acquirer in a business combination. Yes, di ba? As long as considered, kahit hindi siya recorded sa books ni acquiree, as long as it is considered to be an identifiable asset, yes, you can make it sama. So, an non-current asset acquired in a business combination that is classified as held for sale is measured at fair value. Di ba? If I remember correctly, di ba, yung non-current asset held for sale is considered under PFRS 5 yan siya, di ba? So, fair value less cost to sell yan. If the consideration transfer in a business combination is deferred, di ba? Sa future na lang, the consideration may be measured at present value. True. So, yan na, kasimple. So, doon tayo sa problem 2, true or false, or trolls. Uy, bakit nag-find? Control na lang. So, that said, entity A acquires 100% interest in the voting shares of entity B And with that, 100 pesos. So yun yung cost of investment. Yeah? So entity B's identifiable assets and liabilities have fair value of 200 and 120. So yung FBNA natin, fair value ng net assets, ito FBC, ano to? FBNA natin, ba't ano sinabi ko? FBNA, anyways, is 80 respectively. So ang goodwill daw is 80. Mali, 20. And always reminder lang ulit, don't forget yung kanya-kanyang tip, di ba? Kanya-kanyang method na gagamitin. Either yung, as I have said, either gagamitin yung kay Zeus or yung dinagdag kong yung table. Ano yung table yun ulit? Di ba? Paano yan? COI, FBNA, plus goodwill or gain on bargain purchase. Gain on bargain purchase. Table yan. So, itong total, parent, NCI. Diba? Yun, di ba? Kanya-kanyang tip. Kung itong gamitin nyo yung kay Zeus, walang kaso. As long as tama yung sagot nyo. May importante, di ba? So, kanya-kanyang tip lang yan. So, yun. Ang tanong, goodwill daw. 80. Mali. Kasi di ba? Simple. 100. Yung cost of investment. Yung total. 80 FBNA. Yeah? Yun lang man ang binigay. 100% pa. So, asset acquisition, asset acquisition, 100% stock acquisition, voting shares lang naman. So, yun. 820. Huwag natin pa, hindi pinahirapan ng buhay. Then the next is use the following information para sa next two items. So, number 2 and number 3. Si Entity A nag-acquire ng 90% interest in the voting shares of Entity B for 100 pesos. So, stock acquisition, pero hindi 100%, 90% lang. So, Entity B's identifiable assets and liabilities have fair value of 200 and 120. So, ang tanong, may nag-video okay man. Anyway, sana hindi rinig dito. Voice cancellation. Please work. So, if the NCI is measured at its proportionate share in the acquiree's net identifiable asset, the goodwill would be 28. The goodwill would, if the NCI is measured at its proportionate share, so yung isang hindi fair value, proportionate share ang gagamitin. So, with that, goodwill daw, 28. 28 nga ba? So, ito yung shortcut, di ba? Or let's say, gamitin natin tong para hindi naman masayang niya. Sir, bakit malaki yung mouse cursor nyo, sir? Para klaro yung pointy. Tip lang yan. Okay. So, mag-close ka na. Tawag dito. Kahit skip nyo na to. Gusto ko lang i-try. Tawag dito. COI, FBNA, para makasulat-sulatin tayo dito. FBNA, goodwill naman to. Hindi naman GBP ang total, P, parent, NCI. So, ang tawag dito, ang parent, nag-invest ng 100. Di ba? 100 ang binigay niya. Tapos, ang FBNA natin is 80. 90%. Tandaan nyo, 90% to. 10%. So, obviously, total 100%. So, 80. 90% ang 80, 72. 8. So, nagbibidyo okay mo, walang yung kapitbahay. So, ang sabi, proportionate share. So, 8 dapat to dito. So, 0 yan. 8 plus 100, 108. So, malalagay, 28. 28. Basic, di ba? Gusto ko lang gawin. Alam niyo naman to, simple lang to. So, true, 28. If the NCI is measured at a fair value, of 10, the goodwill would be 18. Mali. Fair value, 10. Yeah? 10 plus 100, 110, 80. 100 minus 80. 110 minus 80, 30. Ang nilagay, false 30. Ano ba nilagay? 18. So, dapat 30. Tama, 30. So, number 4. For the next follow-up, use the following information for the next 7 items. Entity A acquires all the identifiable assets and assumes all the liabilities of Entity B for 100 pesos. Entity B is, Entity B's identifiable net assets, identifiable assets and liabilities have fair value of 200 and 120. So, parang para lang sa kanina. 100 ang okay. Assumes all the liabilities. So, this is an asset acquisition. Binili niya lahat. Assumes all the identifiable assets. So, with this said, saan tayo? So, ang sinasabi, next 7 questions. So, entity A incurred legal fees of 20 in negotiating the business combination. So, with that, 100 daw. So, idadagdag mo daw yung 20. So, 120 minus 40 daw. Mali. Kasi ang legal fees, balikan nyo yung slide, acquisition-related cost siya. And acquisition-related cost is expense. Dalawa lang yung acquisition-related cost na sinasama natin. Yung sa debt security and yung isang security pa. Pero yun lang yung exception. Yun ang exception, dalawang yun in relation sa Pero yung ibang karamihan ng acquisition-related costs, yun, expense yun sila agad. Entity A, so false yan, dapat 20. Wag mo isama to. Entity A estimates liquidation cost of 10 in exiting the business activities of Entity B. The goodwill is 20, yes. Same lang, true. Pero this time true na. 20 kasi ang liquidation cost, ignored yan siya. Post-combination expense yan. Number 6, Entity A is renting out a license to Entity B under an operating lease. The terms of the lease compared with market terms are favorable. The fair value of the differential is 5. The goodwill is 20 is 25. So ang tinatanong, si A man yung acquirer, di ba? So si B yung acquiree. Then yung sa operating lease. So ang tinatanong nila diyan, isasama mo ba ang operating lease? Yeah? Under sa identifiable assets ni Entity B. The answer is yes. So, unrecorded siya. Pero, since magbi-business combination na kayo, identifiable asset na siya. So, plus 5. Kaya nakalagay dito, 200 plus 5, the intangible asset that was unrecorded in the books of the acquiree, but upon inspection, nasabi nyo na isa siyang identifiable asset, so isasama nyo na siya sa computation ng FBNA. Kaya dito na siya, plus 5. So, yun. 100 plus 295, 15. So, the answer should be false. So, false. 15 dapat. Sinama nyo na Number 7, Entity B has an unrecorded patent with fair value of 30. Unrecorded patent, the gain on bargain. The gain on bargain purchase is 10. So yan, unrecorded patent na consider as identifiable asset in the fair value amount of 30, isasama nyo sa FBNA. So with that, yun, sinama siya. GBP nga on 10 pesos. Number 8, Entity B has an unrecognized contingent liability with fair value of 30. The contingent liability is a present obligation but as an probable outflow of economic resources. So yan, isasama rin sa FBNA ni acquiree Entity B, kasi identifiable siya. Yan, kaya dito siya. True. Entity B, number 9, Entity B's assets and liabilities have carrying amounts of 150 and 120. So respectively, fair value adjustments to the acquired assets and liabilities have deferred tax consequences but do not affect their tax basis. The income tax rate is 30%. The goodwill is 53. So, anong lesson yan, sir? If you can still remember, kaya nagturo ng CFAS last semester. Yan yung PAS 12. PAS 12, income taxation. Tandaan yung di ba? Iba yung computation, iba yung paggawa ng accounting profit sa tax profit. Iba yung style, iba yung fundamentals, iba yung standards na ginagamit. And because of that difference, in the computation of the accounting and the tax profit, nagkakaroon ng differences. Diba? Recap nyo yung sa CFAS nyo o yung sa FAR nyo. Diba? Yung temporary, ang tag ito? Yung taxable temporary differences. Diba? Or yung deductible temporary deductible temporary differences or deferred tax liability, deferred tax asset. Yan, dito yun. So in this case, 200 yung identifiable asset mo. However, yung carrying amounts ito, based on the is 150. 150 siya, 200 on the carrying amount sa financial reporting, pero pagdating sa tax base, it's only 150. So with that, meron kang 50 taxable temporary difference. So balikan niyo yung table sa sa CFAS niyo or yung sa sa FAR niyo, di ba? May guide table naman doon kung kailan inaano yung sa accounting base, sa tax base. Pero don't worry, naman tayo mag-ano dito. Mas problemahan niyo yung pagdating ng FAR. Wag dito sa IFAR. Parang additional lang to ni Zeus. So with that, 50, then 30%. So 15 deductible temporary, deferred tax liability. So yun, ilagay mo dito, identifiable liability siya. Okay, sama siya dito. Minus 35. So false. And lastly, na-cover ng mukha ko. Move natin to. And lastly, Entity A agreed to share its trade secrets. Entity A agreed to share its trade secret processes with Entity B after the business combination. The trade secret processes have a fair value of 25, the goodwill is 20. So same lang, 20. Walang effect yung trade secret. Kasi nga, hindi siya considered as transferred to Entity B's former owners kasi this trade secret will remain in the entity. Kasi in-acquire ni Entity A sa Entity B. So, isi-share yung trade secret sa Entity B, it still remained within the business entity, di ba? Wala siyang pinuntahan, hindi siya napunta sa pagmamayari ng former owners ni Entity B. So with that said, let's go to the next problem. Okay, etong sa problem 5, wag na natin tong intindihin. Kay multiple choice theory lang naman to, di ba? So tingnan niyo na lang yung answer key. So dali lang naman, di ba? Sa book lang yun, sa PowerPoint lang yung discussion, So with that said, let's go to problem 6, computational. So, ito ba yung binigay ko sa? Okay, ito yun. So anyways, ito computational to. Multiple choice. So on January 1, ito ang problem. On January 1, 2001, Saturday Co acquires 80% of the outstanding voting shares of Sanico. So si Sunny yung acquiree, Saturday yung acquirer. So si Sunny, may identifiable assets and liabilities siya. Has fair value, so in the amount of 3,400,000 and 1.7 million. Yan, ito yung relevant informations. So with that, una, Saturday Co, acquirer to siya, agrees to pay Sunny's former owners 2 million pesos in cash. Kung saan, ang kalahati to be paid agad on January 1. The other portion, the other half, will be paid in 5 annual installments starting December 31, 2001. The current market rate of interest on January 1, 2001 is 12%. So alam niyo na, gagawin niyo dito, di ba? Mag-present value tayo dito, ordinary annuity. So, next is Saturday also agrees to provide a technical know-how to be used in Sunny's operations after the business combination. The technical know-how has a fair value of 200,000 pesos. Now, same to doon sa kanina, yung sa trade secret, wala tayong i-value dito. Bakit itong know-how, it will still remain in the corporation or in the business, di ba? It will not be transferred to the former owners of the acquiree. It will still remain. Nagpasahan lang, di ba? Parang from one pocket to another pocket lang yan. Next is, Saturday opts to measure non-controlling interest at NCI's proportionate shares in Sunny's net identifiable asset. So, yun na. So, simple lang. How much daw is the goodwill on gain or gain on bargain purchase? So, simple lang. Yung una, consideration, bang sabi, 2 million. Pero yung kalahati, bayad agad, yung kalahati, installment. So with that said, ordinary annuity tayo. So, since 5 installment, 1 million, 200K, then 12%. So, yun, no, ito, 200 times present value of ordinality of 1 at 12% and 5. So, with that, 1,729.5, yung consideration transferred or yung COI. Next is yung NCI. Anong NCI natin? Nakalagay, 34 minus 1.7, then 80% lang yung acquire. So, may NCI of 20%. So, 340. Wala tayong previously held interest. So, yun. Ito yung total. Minus the fair value of net identifiable assets in the amount of 1.7 million. So, goodwill, 369.55. No sweat, no sweat. Napakadali. So, next tayo sa number 2. Silentco acquires 80% of the controlling interest ni Peaceful Co. So, Silent ang acquirer, Peaceful ang acquiree. Ang amount, 1.2 million. Peaceful Co, si acquiree, ang identifiable assets and liabilities niya, 3.3 and 1.7. Ngayon, included in Peaceful's asset is a web press machine with fair value of 900,000 pesos, which Silentco intends to sell immediately. Now, the machine qualifies for classification as held for sale. The cost to sell are 150,000 pesos. So, Silentco opt to measure the non-controlling interest at fair value. How much is the goodwill? So, may open close parenthesis. So, assume, na-cover ko ba? Hindi. Assume the fair value of the NCI is equal to the gross up value of the consideration transferred multiplied by the NCI percentage. Now, here's the thing. Kung titingnan nyo yung review video ko sa business combination, tatlong ways yan. Diba? Ang shorter one is dalawa lang yung ways to compute for the NCI, yung fair value and the proportionate. Pero kung titingnan nyo, yung fair value, it branches into two. Yung una is yung given fair value ng problem, and yung second, kapag hindi yung given, edi yung assumed fair value. Ito yung assumed fair value. Na kung saan, ang gagawin mo, i-gross up mo lang. I-gross up mo lang yung consideration, yeah? Tapos, multiply mo ng percentage ng NCI, yun na yung magiging ilalagay mo dito. Yung ilalagay mo dito sa portion na to. Yung ilalagay mo dyan. Oo. So, kung proportionate share, kung ano yun nandito, edi yun yun nandito. Yeah? Ganun pag proportionate share. Pero pag ito, assume fair value, gross up mo. So, anyways, anong gagawin? And ito, di ba, nasabi ito kanina held for sale. Di ba, may previous problem yun tayo dito. Sana yun, held for sale. Sana yun, held for sale. Anong problem ba yun may held for sale? Ito, di ba, yung fair value less cost to sell pag may PFRS 5 ka. So with that, number 2 to, no? Okay. So, yun. 1.2, consideration transferred. Assume fair value. Di ba, gross up. 1.2, di ba, 80%? That is the, yung pinurchase ni acquirer. Multiply by the percentage of the NCI. 20%, 300,000 na NCI mo. Wala tayong previously held equity interest. Wala tayong PHI. So, 1.5. Tapos yung minus mo sa FBNA mo, which is the 3.3 million plus yung fair value less cost to sell kasi PFRS 5 yan. So, isama mo yun sa valuation niya. So, minus 150. Oh, yun. Meron kang 1.450 FBNA. So, goodwill mo is 500 50,000. So, going to number 3. O yun, cover ko na. So, itong si number 3. Carpenter Co acquires 100% controlling interest in Woodco by issuing, iba ang binayad niya dito, yung shares siya. Nag-issue siya ng shares para pambayad. Yun yung consideration niya. And yung gagamit natin dito is yung fair value ng shares niya. Balikan niyo yung PowerPoint. 2,000 shares with par value per share 100 and fair value per share 500. Now, si Carpenter Co incurs stock issuance cost at 10 pesos. On acquisition date, would cost identifiable assets and liabilities of fair value of 2.8 and 1.6. Carpenter Co incurred 40,000 in hiring an independent appraiser. Appraiser of Foods assets and liabilities. After the combination, Carpenter intends to eliminate some of Foods activities. The estimated costs are 20,000. In addition, Carpenter's Co expects to incur losses of 80,000. During the first year after the business combination, mga post-combination expenses to. Alam niyo na, hindi sasama yan. How much the goodwill? Gain on bargain purchase. So, simple. Kaya dito, kung shares ang tingnan mo yung fair value ng shares. Yun yung priority sa So, 2,000 times 500, it's 1 million. 1 million. It's 1 million. Then, the NCI, wala tayong NCI kasi 100% acquisition. 100%. Then, wala rin PHI, total 1 million. Then, to fair value of net identifiable assets acquired, 2.6. Napakasimple. Ang mga trick question lang ito mga additional kasi mga acquisition expense to, hindi yan kasama. Kaya, 200, negative bargain purchase, negative goodwill. So, let's go to number 4, kapatid. So, number 4 provides that Mason Co. acquired all assets and liabilities of Hammer Co. for 2.6 million. On acquisition date, Hammer's identifiable assets and liabilities have fair values of 5.9 and 3.5 respectively. Ito yung mga other information. So, si Mason Co. is renting out a building to Hammer Co. on an operating lease. The term of the lease, si Mason nagpapalis basically kay Hammer Co. Ngayon, on an operating lease, the terms of the lease compared with the market terms are favorable. Kung yung sa mga ganitong lessons, balikan niyo yung kasi bago na yung ng leases di ba? Bago yung kanyang compared sa amin dati, bago na yung standard ng leases, di ba? Mas naging stricto sila sa sa identification ng operating lease. So, kasi halos lahat finance lease na. Basta tingnan niyo, may lecture video ako nung pag sa CFAS noon. Basically ganun. Iba yung panahon namin sa binago nilang standards. Kaya dito, kahit nakita nyo na, operating lease, pero na-recognize pa rin. Kasi diba, operating lease, usually unrecognized yan siya, unrecorded. Pero ngayon, business combination pinag-usapan natin, identifiable asset na siya considered to be. So, the fair value is 90,000 of the differential. Hammer is an independent on a pending lawsuit. No provision was recognized because Hammer's legal counsel believes that they will succeed. The fair value of settling the lawsuit is 10,000 pesos. So, contingent ka. So, how much the goodwill ang gain on bargain purchase? 2.6 ang consideration. Wala tayong NCI kasi all the assets and liabilities na acquire. So, asset acquisition, wala yung tira. PHI, wala rin. Total, 2.6. Ito sa FBNE tayo. 5.9 plus D, 90K yung sa operating lease. Unrecorded, however, identifiable, sinama. Ngayon, minus the 3.5 liabs and the 10K, konti ito. Kasi if ma-observe nyo, class, mga pips, if ma-observe nyo sa standards natin, sa accounting standards natin, pagdating sa recognition ng assets, napaka-stricto. Kasi ayaw nila ng overvaluation pagdating sa asset. Pagdating sa liabilities, ganun din. Pero ang tinitingnan kasi kapag may nakikita kang liabilities na pwede mo i-recognize. So basically parang ganun yung sense nun. Bakit? Kasi ayaw natin ng undervaluation sa liabilities. Kaya makita nyo, lalo pagdating sa audit, mas iba yung pagiging stricto sa assets as compared sa pagiging stricto sa liabilities because of the overvaluation and undervaluation na pwedeng gawin ng management. Sa audit class natin to kasi or sa audit theory class nyo yun. But anyways, additional note lang yun. So, how much the goodwill? 120. Ngayon, let's go to the number 5. On January 1, 2001, Creek Co. acquired all the assets and assume all the liabilities of Bamboo Co. So, si Creek ang acquirer, Bamboo ang acquiree, 2.4 million ng consideration. Ito yung books ni Bamboo Co. So, ito yung carrying amounts niya, ito yung fair values niya. Okay, ito yung goodwill niya, recognize sama. Next one. Next page. So, si Bamboo Co. Bamboo Co has research and development projects with fair value of 60,000. Creek Co does not intend to use those R&Ds, however. So, however, there have been exchange transactions involving involving the information generated from Bamboo's R&D, but those transactions are infrequent. All fair value adjustments result to temporary differences. So alam niyo na, may tax basis tayo dito. The tax rate is 30%. Pero pagdating sa mga reviewers sa board exams, wala yan. Hindi na yung tax base. O kay ito, pagdating kasi sa board exam class, ang pinofocus dyan when it comes to business combination is yung intercompany transaction. Doon yung focus basically ng question sa business combination, yung intercompany transactions between the parent and the subsidiary. Doon yung matindi doon. Kaya itong mga tax base niya na hindi yan maglabas sa board exam. Kasi hindi pinaprioritize yung business combination but rather doon sa consolidation. Sa PFRS 10 yung focus doon. Anyways, pero solve na natin dito. Pero makalimutan nyo rin to Click incurred 100,000 general administrative costs, maintaining internal acquisition department. So anyways, how much the goodwill or gain in bargain purchase? So 2.4 yung consideration, walang NCI, walang PHI. So sa FBNA yan. Yeah? Sa FBNA yan. 2.86. Yeah, nakalagay cover natin. 2.86 dito, di So with that 2.86 minus yung recorded goodwill kasi hindi natin sinasama ang goodwill ni acquirer. Hindi yan siya considered as identifiable asset kasi ang goodwill usually unidentifiable yan siya. Parang anak bulan lang yan siya dyan. So, plus yung 60K sa R&D. Kasi tingnan nyo ba sa involving transactions, infrequent. Unrecorded siya, but kinonsider siya as identifiable asset. Next is yung sa temporary differences. Dito yung sa baba. Kita nyo. Fair values, carrying amount for financial reporting. Ito siya 10. Cash kasi ito siya 10, 280, 350, 220, yeah, plus yung R&D, plus yung payables dito 480. Previous carrying amounts, di ba? Tax base for taxation, di ba? Galing sila dito. And yung 400, so taxable temporary difference, deductible temporary difference, yeah. So, deductible temporary difference, negative 120, negative 130. Balikan yung lesson nyo sa kasi wala tayo may discussion dito si CPAS 12. But, don't worry too much about it. Sa far nyo yun sa problemahin. Parang additional notes lang yan dito So, yun. And si taxable temporary difference natin, 260. So, with that, taxable temporary difference, yung 200 plus 60, 30%, deferred tax liability yan. So, liability mo yan siya. Ito naman, deductible temporary differences, yung C120, 130, and 80. 330 times 30%, deferred tax asset mo yan siya. So, sama mo dito. Deferred tax assets, good chance for you. Kasi it basically means na, yung tax, nabayaran mo na ngayon. Ganito yung simple logic niyan. Yung tax, nabayaran mo na ngayon. So, meron kang, sa future. Itong deferred tax liability, meron kang tax ngayon, pero hindi mo pa babayaran sa future pa, kaya siya liability. Ito, binayaran mo na, pero hindi pa siya considered tax. So, pagdating ng future, kung kailan mo siya babayaran, magagamit mo siya as deductible. Ganun lang kasimple paglagyan natin ng logic. So, kaya dito, asset siya. Dito, liability si DTL. Ganyan, di ba? Kasi, kaya from the word itself, di ba? Asset liability. So, with that, add nyo yan. Gain on bargain purchase, negative 41,000. So, punta tayo sa last part, sa SME. Parang Sanmig. Yeah. So, number 1, which of the following statement is correct? If ever does not address the accounting for business combination, mali. SMEs cannot recognize any goodwill, mali. The PFRS for SMEs requires the use of purchase method in accounting for business combination. Yes. Pagdating sa full standard, yung sa proper standard, acquisition method. Pagdating sa SMEs, purchase method. Ito, control is not an essential, mali. So, di ba sa last pages ng discussion sa book sa chapter 1, di ba? Nakalagay doon yung discussion ng SMEs. So use the following information for the next two questions. On January 1, 2001, Citco acquired 75% controlling interest in Stanco for 1 million peso. On this date, the fair value of Stan's net identifiable asset is 800,000. So Citco incurred transaction cost of 100,000 on the acquisition. So 75% controlling interest for 1 million. Ang FBNA is 800, then may transaction cost of 100. So paano tiniko-compute? Depende sa tinatanong ng problem. So una, how much is the goodwill if Citco uses the full PFRS? So PFRS talaga. Sit-offs to measure NCI using the proportionate method. So dito yan. So yung 1 million, yung consideration transferred, NCI, proportionate share dapat, diba? Kasi 800 times 25% is 200. Wala tayong PHI, so 1.2. So fair value, minus the FBNA, goodwill, 400. Sa number 3 naman, how much is the goodwill kung saan PFRS for SMEs ang gagamitin? So yan, kasi purchase cost, 100. Plus the acquisition related cost, diba? So 1.1 million. Minus the interest in net identifiable assets acquired, 600,000. Goodwill, 500. Yeah? Kasi nga, ang SMEs purchase method. Kaya, tiyan mo, add minus add minus. This simple lang. Ngayon, going to number 4, the PFRS for SMEs differs from PFRS 3 in all of the following except. So, differs except on one. The measurement of the consideration transferred, different sila dalawa. Differ so pareho lang. Treatment of NCI, iba. Treatment of acquisition cost, kasi tingnan nyo dito sinama, Dito hindi sinama. Yeah. Recognition criteria for contingent liabilities. Yun. So letter A. So which of the following statements is incorrect regarding the provisions of PFRS for SMEs? So NCI is not included in the computation of goodwill. So correct siya. NCI is measured in the consolidated financial statements at the NCI proportion share in the acquisition. Fair value measurement is not an option. Incorrect kasama. Next is the PFRS for SMEs specifically requires the acquirer to recognize intangible assets or liability from an operating list wherein the acquiree So letter C yung incorrect. Direct costs for the business combinations other than issue costs are capitalized under PFRS for SMEs as part of goodwills, whereas pagdating sa PFRS 3, in-expense siya. So letter C yung incorrect dito. So with that said, that ends our discussion for this for this BAPE 7, assignment number 1. So next would be BAPE 2, pero yun, may Wednesday pa naman yun, so relax lang. So with that, bye-bye. Love you.